Hello, Dr. Sanders. So for our sprint that we currently just finished, I'm going to first go ahead and talk about the code that I implemented for this sprint. So my main task was to, here, let me actually go to Jira. I can show this really quick. So my main objective was to complete the chatbot, and I'm doing research in the image parsing. But specifically for the chatbot, if we go into the GitHub, and if I go here, you could see all the code I implemented here. And I'll just do a quick overview of all this code here. So currently the main things that I did here was created a different new page. This new page is going to be the whole UI of chat, and we're embedding a local what's it called? A local machine that's able to get requests from the devices. So if we're currently using the open Ollama AI. So here is just the send message function. And if it's empty, then we will return it's an empty message. So here we just declare a user's message that we're going to trim it, so make it into a better text and reformat it to kind of clear it out when we send it out to the server or the local computer, my bad. And then the way we're going to pretty much organize this think of it as more of like a JSON type file. We're gonna first have a header of text. So this is going to be the message that the user sends to the chatbot. And then the sender will either be the instance of the current user, so if the current user that's logged in, or the anonymous, because we're gonna have anonymous mode as well, and the timestamp in which the user sent out the data. Here we have this AI response. All we're doing is getting the response that the user is requesting. So we use this by creating the object that we created up top. And then this generate response is part of the API. And we just pass in the user string that we collected up above. And here, this user add gives us the ability to store this in Firestore. So essentially how we're going to be storing it is with these three type of headers. So it's going to be a text in the response, the sender, and the timestamp in which it received, or Firestore received the message. And then if we go down here, this is just the basic build function for the UI of Fashion Chat. So specifically what we're trying to have is just a basic message like bubble, and give the user the ability to send like think of it like a text message kind of UI, and it has a send button. So yeah, okay, and then here the stream message order stamp. This is actually in Firestore. So using the organize tab in Firestore, we could organize our data based on the timestamp, the sending. So this snapshot is pretty much the data being that's already stored in Firestore, and all we're doing is we're retrieving that data, and we're giving the once the user logs out or turns off their phone and they log back in, it's going to show their previous chat logs. So the way we do this is if we do a snapshot connect state equals, and it's waiting, then we do a circular progress indicator. So that means it's indicating that to the user that it's loading. And if there's an error, if it detects that the snapshot has for some reason was lost or it can't be found, then we just output an error. And then another option is if data does not exist. So if data doesn't exist, the snapshot doesn't exist, that means that they did not have a chat log previously. So we can consider this as a new chat. So what we do is we say just start a conversation, and then let's see. So we go down here. These are just builder things. This is how we're collecting data from the little bubble that we have. So once the user is typing, it gets sent, stores it in a string sender. Yeah, so this is how we're going to store it in Firestore. So it's either gonna save the sender as the Firestore user, or just unknown. So this is how we're gonna be able to pull back the chat logs from specific users. And then here, this is just padding for the, let's see, looks like it's dress page swipe. So just little minor changes here. Actually, wait, no, it's just a little indent. So I must have done this by accident. Um, let's see. So yeah, our encryption thing didn't really, it's supposedly changed, but that's automated. So yeah, so all of this is auto-generated programming stuff, and yeah. So for this capstone, I have to go over pretty much the amount of hours, expected minutes. I currently did about 1,520 minutes through the sprint, and yeah. So for yeah, so I was able to complete the chatbot setup, and the only thing that I wasn't able to complete was image parsing. I'm still doing research on that and actually talking with Julian about how we're going to implement that. And let's see if I'm missing anything. No, yeah, I think that's it. Uh, thank you, Dr. Sanders.